need the presentation if you don't have it, right? Like I don't have it, so it's fine. But guys, get your people on, call them, reach out to them, whatever. I'm about to start the thing. Don't tell Axel or I'm gonna get in trouble. There we go. Axel always yells at me every time I'm on YouTube. He's like, Dad, you're on YouTube. And then he'll tell on me. I'll tell Taylor that I'm on YouTube. They're not allowed to be on YouTube. So, all right, guys. So when I'm on a kitchen table appointment, I'm going through the blue page. Y'all know what the blue page is, correct? Everybody's seen that before? Yes, no, maybe, sort of. Is everybody awake? Everybody type I'm awake in the Zoom chat if you're alive, because not one of you, except, well, actually one person looked at me and shook their head yes. Everybody else kind of like looked like they were maybe held hostage. Cool. All right. Some of you guys are good. What's that? I'm playing like an energy game. No, it's all right. I'm good. Thanks. So guys, you need to know how to do this, right? So the way I do this, I'll get on an appointment. I will form the person. Right? Do y'all know what forming is? FORM. Everybody should know what that means, right? Form, family, occupation, recreation, motivation. You should write that down. Family, occupation, recreation, motivation. I spend time getting to know the person, okay? So, like, let's just say that Tammy takes me to go see Angie, right? So Tammy's on the call. She's watching. She's just hanging out. She introduces me. I get to know Angie. I ask Angie about her family, her kids. What does she do for work? What are your goals? What are some things you want to do, accomplish, do for fun, etc. Right? I just go through. I learn things about her family, about what she does for work, about what she does for fun, and about what made her get on the call today. That's really what I'm trying to figure out is what are we doing here today? Like that's trying to figure out what are we doing here and how can I tie a connection, like emotional connection to her, right? How can I help Angie see that I'm here to help her, right? So that's what I'm learning. Then I'm going to transition to the presentation. So, hey, Angie, I'm going to share my screen real quick and give you a rundown and show you what it is that Tammy's doing, okay? So two things. Number one, Angie, what I'm going to show you, I think you'll see a lot of value in. And if you see something you want to take advantage of, we can definitely do that today, okay? And I'm going to walk you through everything, and we'll look at some stuff at the end and see what's a good fit. The other part of this, though, and frankly, the more important part is we're helping Tammy build her business here, right? So she's going to learn and take notes. I might have her jump in, even do part of it, and I'll make a joke maybe sometimes, but hey, Tammy might jump in and she might do part of it, or I'm going to ask you definitely at the end if you see value in this. And when you do see value in this, we're gonna ask for a couple referrals to help Tammy build her business. Is that okay? And then she's gonna say yes, right? So hey, we're gonna go over a lot of stuff today that you might see some value in, and if there's something that you see value in, then we're gonna get you set up with that. Okay. Second thing is we're helping Tammy build her business, right? So we're helping Tammy build her business. So at the end of this, if you see value, is it okay if I ask you for a few referrals to help your friend Tammy build her business? Yes, that's fine. Okay, great. Awesome. Well, I'm going to share my screen. Let me know if you can see it. And then I'm sharing that blue PDF, right? It is the 6-page sales presentation US. Don't use the Spanish version. Don't use the Canadian version. They're not, you can't, they're not compliant. So then I get to the actual presentation, right? So now I am on the actual presentation, right? And then, so I would say, Angie, if I were to say to you, like a good neighbor, well, so first of all, we're with a company called Primerica. Angie, have you ever heard of Primerica before? And then most of the time they say no, right? Angie, can you unmute yourself actually or not? If you can, that'd be amazing. If not, I can pick somebody else if I need to.
Yeah, I can unmute myself.
All right. So we're for the sake of this call, because obviously your husband is not currently there, we're pretending you're a single mom, right? Just so that way I don't have to try to go through the explanation there. So awesome. So Angie, if I were to say to you, like a good neighbor, what would you say?
State Farm is there.
State Farm is there, right? Who's got the little green lizard that's running around and saving you 15% or more by switching to Geico.
Yeah, Geico.
And then you got the little duck, the quack quack insurance duck. You know who I'm talking about there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Aflac, right? So you've been brainwashed. Right. Everybody else, like, don't worry, it's okay. I'm not going to hold it against you. I'm running a kitchen table right now, not a recruit. Some of you are looking like this is a recruit. No, it's the same thing. That's the point. Okay. So you would agree that you've been brainwashed, and it's all right. Don't worry. hold it against you. Everybody I talk to has been for the most part. Now, Angie, what's crazy is that we're actually the largest independent financial services marketing organization in the entire country. And the difference between us and those companies that you've seen before is that you actually just never heard of us because you never knew anybody that did what we do, right? We're a 100% word of mouth referral based business, which is why it's important that, you're on this call right now and we're training Tammy, because now you're going to know now you're going to know what Tammy does, so you can feel comfortable giving her referrals as Tammy continues to build her business, right? So,
Right.
So we're actually publicly traded, Angie. So have you ever heard of the stock exchange, the New York Stock Exchange before?
Yeah.
Vaguely familiar with that. So we're a publicly traded company on the stock exchange. Our stocks right now are worth about $180 a share. When I started 2 years ago, they were about 118, 117, 118. So it's a big jump over 2 years. That doesn't normally happen like that. Now, the reason I bring that up is because a lot of people don't know who we are, but we have almost 150,000 licensed agents. We bring on almost 50,000 new clients a month. And so, Angie, there's a ton of people that do what we do, that know what we know, that teach what we teach, and that help people, and a lot of families that see value in what we do as well. So we've been featured on Forbes magazine for a whole bunch of different things. We're a top 25 place for women to work, top 25 place for diversity. We're a top insurance company from Forbes. We're the number one life insurance company, from MarketWatch, and we're a financial services company. Okay. So Angie, I know you may never have heard of us before, but we're just a massive insurance and investment company that people just don't know because they don't know people that are involved in Primerica. Does that make sense, Angie?
Yes.
Awesome. So our mission, Angie, is to help people earn more income, become properly protected, debt-free, and financially independent. So when most people get started, there's one of two camps that they could find themselves in. I almost broke my table with my ring. The first one is, hey, I want to make some extra income. Right. And that's why Tammy's here, right? That's why she's getting trained right now, is because she's building her business for her family. But if you want to make some extra money, that's totally cool. We can help you do that. We help people make an extra couple $100. We have people that are making literally hundreds of thousands of dollars a month and everything in between. And we can help people do that. Now, the other side, though, is really what we do for families. We help them become properly protected with life insurance. A lot of people think they're set with group life insurance, or they have the wrong type, like a cash value whole life, something like that, right? So there's that side of it. We also help people become properly protected, debt-free. So I'm going from memory here, guys. So if I have to stop for a second to be able to figure out where I'm at on the page, but we help them become debt-free. So Angie, on average, we get people out of debt 14 years faster, save them $130,000 a year over their lifetime in interest, right? That means they're paying $130,000 less for crap that they already have by following our system. And so we're helping them get out of debt faster. And we're also helping them become financially independent through investments and making sure their money's in the right spot and growing at a faster rate. A lot of people think that they only need their 401k or that, their CD that their grandma got them when they were 6 years old is enough. And the reality is it's just not, right? And so what we do is we step in and we help those people identify ways that they could become better on that the financial aspect, right? So that's really what we do. That's what Tammy's going to be doing for people. She's crushing it. She's doing amazing. She's through her licensing already. We're just waiting for her to get appointed at this point. She's going to be running this business and doing awesome. And we're so excited that you're here. Now, what we actually do, though, Angie, is we help people put together what's called a financial needs analysis, right? We help them put together a roadmap for where they're trying to go. So Angie, if I were to send you a voucher that you want a trip to Disney, all you had to do was drive there. You couldn't jump in. You could not jump in a plane. You had to drive. God bless, right? We'll pray for you. But you had to jump in the car with all your kids, right? And you bring them down here. And that was completely free. All you had to do was drive. What would you do with your address to get down here to go to Disney for your free trip? How would you get here? What would you do?
I would put it in my Google Maps.
Perfect. You're going to put it in Google Maps. Now, why put it in Google Maps and follow a direction and not just like aimlessly drive until you magically somehow ended up at the right place?
Because it would take forever.
It would take forever, right? So our financial needs analysis is that, right? It is the Google Maps for people's money. It helps them get to where they're trying to go. It walks them through all the things that they need to get to where they're trying to be financially, right? And it's that game plan. So Angie, you would agree that having a plan is better than not having a plan, right?
Yes,
And Angie, outside of your job, who currently handles your financial planning?
just me.
Just you. Okay, great. So you don't have anybody that's like giving you guidance. No, you're not licensed in like investments and stuff like that, correct?
No.
Awesome. So if we could put together something for you, just kind of give you a free look at what you're doing with your finances, put a second set of eyeballs on it, maybe try Apple Maps instead of Google Maps, right? That kind of thing. See which one is, see if there's a little differences. Maybe we could get you going to retirement a little bit quicker, get your kids set up with college funds, stuff like that, and make it make sense in your budget so that way it didn't strap you down. Is that something you would be open to looking at?
Yeah. Yeah. I would.
Awesome. So as far as us getting together, what's better for a financial needs analysis? Does this time usually work for you every week? Because it almost always does, guys. Don't make it harder than it needs to be. Does this time work for you pretty much every week? Yes, Monday at 8 a.m. Great. How's next Monday at 8 a.m.? Does that work? We can get together and do the financial needs analysis then?
Yes. Sounds good.
Awesome. And I'm not so like strict, guys, on like, it doesn't have to be like a yes or yes question right there because you've built a relationship with them and they've seen a little bit of value in what we do at least. So I can, hey, does next Monday at the same time work? Or if you want to ask a yes, hey, does next Monday work or is 2 Mondays from now better? Like that's how you could do that, right? And then you lock down the time. Awesome. Angie, well, cool. I'm super excited to meet back up with you in a couple weeks. Few things I'm going to need from you. Just generally, I don't need the numbers or anything like that, but do you have like old 401ks, any Roth IRAs, anything like that currently?
Yes, I actually do.
401k, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, perfect. Now, Angie, outside of that stuff, is there any other investments that you might have, maybe old bonds or CDs, or like your grandparents bought you like a gold brick back in the day and it's just kind of sitting around? No. Okay.
No.
Perfect. So grab your statements and bring those with you on Monday. And it would be awesome if you could send them to my email address before we get back together, because then I can be prepared when we get there on Monday. My email is in the Zoom chat, okay, and I'll put my email in there.
Okay.
And then awesome. Well, and then the last thing, Angie, is before we get out of here, I obviously, you see value in what Tammy's going to be doing for people, right?
Right.
Awesome. And is there anybody that you can think of that would see benefit in meeting with Tammy and getting some guidance on where they are financially? Maybe, I know you said you have some siblings and some cousins that you're pretty close with. Did any of them get married or have a baby, buy a house, anything like that?
Yeah.
And
My brother's getting married in 2 weeks. And so
Great.
after that would be great.
Awesome. And we're actually going to close him after he gets married too. But so guys, you have to help them give you the referral. Hey, do you know anybody? No, they don't know anybody, right? Because if they did, they already would talk to him, or they already would have sent them to you. But who is somebody that's getting married, right? Who is somebody that's about to have a baby, etc. And you're just getting names and numbers for Tammy to call to set up the appointment, right? So after that, I'll go through a couple of names and numbers. After that, the last thing I would tell is that, hey, Angie, thanks so much for your time. Really appreciate us, or really appreciate getting to meet you and getting to jump on this call with you. And Angie, last thing before we get out of here, I got to ask, I'm just curious, outside of your work, who currently handles your life insurance?
I just group life insurance at work.
You don't have any life insurance at all?
Like honestly, or for the call?
For the call. You don't have any life insurance?
No, I don't. I just have group.
Come on, Angie, play along. What the hell?
Sorry, I'm trying.
Right. Yeah, no, you don't have any life insurance. Wow, that's awesome. So Angie, let me ask you a question real quick. Is the only life insurance that you have is group life, right?
Right.
Okay. And that's through your job, right? Is it okay if I tell you a couple things real quick about how group life insurance works? Would that be okay?
Yeah.
I don't know why I awkwardly paused right there in the middle of that sentence, so don't do that normally. But great. So the first thing, Angie, is that group life insurance, it's probably free or pretty inexpensive, correct?
Yes, it's not very much money.
Okay, great. So whatever you can get for free, keep. Don't cancel it. It's free, right? Why would you cancel something that's free? It doesn't make any sense. But whatever you're paying for, I would cancel, because you're essentially renting it, right? If you ever leave your job, that life insurance is gone, right? You're not going to have it anymore. So we want to make sure that we're putting our money towards something that we are able to keep. Now, the second thing, Angie, is if you were to not be on active payroll, I don't know if you ever heard of this thing called COVID a couple years ago, right? A lot of people got laid off and furloughed. They stopped getting paid from their jobs. Right now, I'm not trying to bring that up and like poke any sores here if that's something that somebody's upset with. But at the end of the day, COVID took a lot of people off payroll. And what that means with group life insurance is if you're not on payroll, you are not insured. So if you passed away in a time that you weren't on payroll, you're not going to get paid. And last but not least, Angie, is I don't see people lining up outside of buildings picketing because of how amazing the benefits are, and they're getting better benefits, right? They're picketing and they're arguing with their employer, and they're going on strike because of why, right? And I'll let her answer. I think she got eaten by Jake from State Farm, destroyed her Zoom call, but that's okay.
Sorry, I'm back. I don't know what happened.
You're back. You made it. You survived. Great job. I'm proud of you for taking them out. Good job. But if people are out here picketing, why? Because they're out here picketing because the benefits are getting worse and worse and worse, right? So Angie, a couple of years ago, AT&T lost all of their life insurance benefits like that because the company decided it wasn't something that they wanted to continue to offer to the employees. So Angie, wouldn't it make sense that you had something that was affordable, that fit your budget, and made it so that way you knew that you and your kids were protected? God forbid something were to happen to you.
Yes.
Okay, great. Now Angie, how much life insurance would you want if the price didn't matter? If the price was free and you could have as much as you wanted, how much coverage would you want to have?
I don't know, like probably 500,000 to 250. Like, I'm not sure.
250 to 500,000. Okay, cool. Now, if it was free, I don't know about you, but I would personally want all of it, right? All the things, whatever they're going to give me for free, that's what I want, right? But 250 to 500,000, not bad. Now, obviously, Angie, price is going to be a concern, right? So,
of course,
Angie, if being that price is a concern and we can't just go around dropping $5,000 a month on life insurance, I wouldn't even want you to do that. But how much per month do you feel like you would be comfortable putting aside for your financial future, making sure that things were taken care of? And before you answer that, Angie, I have clients that are doing anywhere from $75 a month towards their future to a couple thousand, and everywhere in between. Where do you feel like you would feel comfortable monthly investing in your financial future, retirement, stuff like that?
Right now, 1 to 200.
1 to 200. Okay. Perfect. And so Angie, I'm going to share my screen really quick. And I just want to show you a quote. I'm going to show Tammy how to go through the quotes, and I want you to see how much it would be for you to have some privately owned life insurance, just so you could have an idea of what that looks like. Okay. And then I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to give her a couple quotes, and I'll kind of walk her through it. So Angie, I know you said 250,000 to 500,000 is a number that you would want, but Angie, is it okay if I kind of walk you through how we figure out how much insurance people actually need?
Yeah, that would be great.
Okay, so we use an acronym called it's DIME, D-I-M-E. It's like little silver coins that you find on the ground. So D, it stands for debt. How much consumer debt do you have? Like cards, credit cards, vehicles, stuff like that. Not your mortgage, but outside of that, how much debt roughly do you have? You can say a random number, doesn't necessarily matter.
Probably 80,000.
80,000. Okay. And then what's your annual income roughly?
It's about 45.
45,000. Okay. And you have dependents, people that rely on your income for the household to continue moving forward, correct?
Yes.
All right, perfect. And then what about mortgage? Do you have a mortgage, or I think earlier you said you rent, right?
Yes.
Okay, so nothing there. And then final expenses, like do you have any like big plans if something were to happen to you, like big funeral, anything crazy like that you want to do,
No.
or did you want to leave behind any education money for the kids, a couple thousand,
Yes.
20,000,
Yeah.
something like that? And you have 2 kids, so we'll call that 50 grand there. Perfect. So what I have just roughly written down here is, we'll do 5 times your annual income. So that's about 250, a little less than 250,000. And then, 80,000 for your debt, 50,000 for education. What that's going to do is give whoever's raising the kids, God forbid something happened to you, some funds to work with, so the kids don't end up on the street, right? And they're able to eat and they have the clothes they need and stuff like that. And then it gets rid of all the debt, so that's not stuck with a family member. And it also leaves 25 grand per kid to be invested for their education fund down the road. So we're looking at about 300,000 in life insurance. And so you said 250 to 500, that puts you right in the window. We'll pull up some quotes, right? Now I'll go through quoting them. And so, Angie, let's say you're like a 31-year-old single mom, right? So awesome. So, we're going to be able to get you, Angie, 300,000. You don't know tobacco, no medical issues, nothing like that. I will look at the quote and I'm going to say, hey, 300,000, Angie, sits right around $80 a month to get you the coverage that you need. Okay. So we're going to be able to get you all taken care of with $80 a month. Angie, who's your beneficiary going to be for this? And I'll let her tell me, and I will open up the policy and I will fill out the application, and I will also do the A diagram, which we don't have time to go through that today. I can go through the A diagram only tomorrow on closing the life insurance. But guys, you're setting the financial needs analysis and then you're just asking questions, right? So set the FNA, ask questions. And guys, like, I did not have to look at a little blue page to walk through that, because I've done it enough times and I've mastered that enough times, right? I'm not trying to like tell you guys that you need to like kill yourself learning this thing, but would you be better or worse if you learned it? You'd be better, right? And you aren't going to get on kitchen table appointments if you're only setting up recruit appointments. You need to do the KT script and build your list. You need to build your list, qualify your list, and then contact your list, guys. That's the secret. Like, that's the secret sauce. It's not just like magical that like I close life insurance. It's I recruit people, I help them build their list. I take them field training, I close those people, but I'm also developing relationships and client relationships outside of the people that I'm recruiting. So I have a list at my office of people that I continuously am meeting, people at church, people at the gym, people that come into the office, people that I don't close on recruits, all that stuff, right? I'm developing a list and I contact the list every 90 days. I call through my list. Guys, it's not magic that we close the amount of business that we close. It's work that we close the amount of business that we close, right? If you were to go get a part-time job at a restaurant, you have to show up and you have to wait tables to get paid. Or otherwise, I guess you make like $1.50 an hour, whatever the minimum wage is for a waitress, right? You don't make much money, right? You have to do both sides of Primerica. If you're just playing the recruiting game, you're hoping that you hit a scratch off lottery ticket, right? Because you're betting that this is going to get you the result that you want, when in reality, you get you the result that you want. The team that you build because of recruiting is going to get you way more free than you just writing by yourself. But I was talking to the Redeemer call this morning. You're the example that you have to set. So if you're not recruiting and you're not closing life insurance, what kind of example does that have to set for the people that you're bringing on, right? Because you want to set that example for them that they can do it, right? And they can get through that, right? So I just want to challenge you guys today. We're month end madness right now. I got like a week, 8 days. I think it ends Monday night, next Monday at midnight. Guys, set up your list. I want to challenge you guys to put 20 people on a list today, qualify them, and then contact them. Right? Qualify them and contact them. We're doing that coaching call with Tyler Zimmerly this week. I'll get an exact day today from him. But the top 3 kitchen table appointment setters today will win a spot on that call. Top 3 kitchen table appointment setters today. So, and then the last thing I'll say is that I'm gonna do a single spot for when we set 50 team appointments today. When we set 50 team appointments today, everyone who sets an appointment, I'll let you all on that call. Okay, so if we don't set 50, the top 3 kitchen table setters will get on. But hey, we need to just go set 50 appointments, and if you set one, you win. Qualifying them, Larissa Macho, married, age, kids, homeowner, occupation. So we got to go through, qualify the list, and contact them, because if we're contacting people that are 5-pointers about recruiting, we're probably not setting them up for the best success. We want to show them the business, the value of what we do first, recruit them on the back end, right? It's that whole appointment setting boot camp thing. So guys, 50 appointments.